Hi, this is Cindy Abbott Letro for Behind the Camera, and I am sitting in the lobby of the beautiful North Park Theater on Hurdle Avenue. Tonight there is a very special screening of Nightmare Alley. Tim Clark is with me, the head of the Buffalo Niagara Film Commission, and it's a special screening, a screening for Nightmare Alley, which parts of it were shot here in Buffalo. But really what we want to talk about is the fact that there are so many extras that are coming. This screening tonight is specifically for the extras.
Right.
But being an extra in Buffalo is becoming something that people love to do.
It's really something, and I will say that the talent pool here is immense, and they're really well trained and really well talented.
But what does it take to be an extra?
Well, you'd be surprised. And I know you had a speaking role in a featured movie here not too long ago, a few years back. And so that was much different because you had to rehearse for it, you had to do all that. Well, these extras also rehearse, but they rehearse doing things like, you know, tipping their hat or walking behind, and they'll do it hundreds of times typically.
And it also takes sometimes hundreds of hours.
Oh, it does, yeah, I know.
Tell me about, though, when you are an extra, and I plan on talking to some extras tonight,
yeah, there'll be
but
plenty of them.
how do you sell this to people who want?
Well, it's not a hard sell, weirdly. I think people enjoy the fact of that they could be up on their silver screen, and somehow they get to see it. We had a movie shooting this past summer called Cabrini, which should be out at the end of 22, and honestly, that was another one where there were very, very heavy.
That was
extras.
Period, and that was period
yeah.
costumes, like turn of the century kind of thing.
It really was, and it was a period costumes that were very heavy because they were all very wool in the summertime. That wasn't very comfortable for them, but they were troopers. They put up with it, and they.
Do you have repeats? Do you have
yeah,
people that are?
A lot of them are repeats. A lot of them want to keep coming to try to see themselves in these films, and then also the local acting base. You know, some of them actually have lines that they give, and you know that all too well. And some
and
of
it
them
actually was fun, but you know, it is also something in which there's a lot of time spent waiting.
Oh yeah, you're right.
That you do have to sit and wait, because a scene, which could be very, very simple, can take a long time.
A long time, and very often, in addition to the extras, they will hire stand-ins for the bigger stars that are in these things. So in Buffalo, for instance, Bradley Cooper didn't have to stand there to check the camera and the gate and all of that kind of stuff on the movie set. He had a stand-in that was with him that did all the hard work, and when they were ready to start shooting, they called Bradley Cooper in to do those scenes and speak those scenes and run up the steps of City Hall and so forth. So, you know, in addition to hiring local people for extras and also small speaking roles, they also hire them to stand in.
So they do get paid.
They do. They do. There are some movies, really the low-budget ones, that people do it just for fun. And actually that's kind of a neat thing too, and there's never a real a dry spell for that either. People are always very interested in participating. What I will say though is that the Screen Actors Guild requires them to pay extras. So, you know, that often happens. It'll be interesting to see what happens in this new age of COVID though, because, you know, dense people together is kind of a no-no, at least it was, and so we'll see if there are more of those cardboard cutouts that we saw in The Natural, or, you know, way back then, dotting the landscape behind these actors now.
But it is an industry that's growing, and I think you've said that many of the filmmakers are very pleased that so many people want to do this.
It's just fascinating how much the people of Buffalo respond to this. It is still a bit of a novelty to shoot here, so people are feeling energetic about going to be an extra, working to be part of the crew base here, and even refining their skills. You know, we've got some great casting agencies that are in town now that weren't here that many years ago. And you know, there have always been casting experts here. I think of Darlene Hummert and others that have been here for a long time. And then there's new people that are coming up with casting agencies too, and it's really quite an industry.
Well, I think it sounds like fun. I had fun when I
Yeah.
worked on Cold Brook, and I'm sure others
You did a
did
good
as
job
well.
too. You look like a college president.
Thank you. I tried. But we're actually going to go and we're going to talk to some of the folks that were involved in Nightmare Alley and see why they do it and what they found fun about it. Thanks, Tim.
Thank you, Cindy, as always.
Dave, we are interviewing extras tonight for a Nightmare Alley. First of all, tell me, why did you decide to become an extra?
Well, I've been an extra for years. Since I was in college, I've had a bunch of different roles as an extra. I love being an extra. I told my son, when I retire, I want to go to Hollywood and just build sets, because I love film, I love being on the set, I just love everything about it. Even if I'm not the star, I just love being here, so that's why.
Describe your role.
Well, what I had to do was walk back and forth for 8 hours. So I would walk forwards, and they would rewind, and I would do it again and again, rinse, wash, repeat for 8 hours. So it was great. I loved every minute of it.
What's the best part of being an extra?
I think for me, it's being on set. I love to be around the cameras. I did a TV show for a while in Buffalo, and I love that too. Just the whole making the movie, because I understand what the gaffs are doing, what the electricians are doing, and I could watch Del Toro work, which was fascinating, and just the whole putting it together for me was it was magic. Even if I was just an extra, it was still just a lot of fun. I loved it.
Tell me a little bit about what you did as an extra on Nightmare Alley.
I had to walk in the snow a couple of times. I got to smoke the fake clove cigarettes, which was awesome. I did do a train station scene where I was a passenger, and the whole time Bradley Cooper was behind me. I didn't even know. That's how much he fit in with us. And the director was amazing. He talked to us, Guillermo. He talked to us. He was just a great guy. The whole set was just amazing, very professional.
How long did you work on the film?
4 days. Yeah, I got 4 days on that's my longest on any film, was 4 days.
So I take it you've been an extra before. What does being an extra mean to you?
Being an extra is, if you mess up, then they can't get that shot. So it's very important that your facial expressions, anything, your pantomiming, anything that you do, you have to do it as if you're a main actor. You have to follow you can't get starstruck, anything like that. But being an extra to me I love it because I get to play someone else. So I get to put myself in that mindset that I'm someone in the 1940s. And when I saw that for the casting notice, I was like, I have to do it.
All right, you have decided to become an extra on Nightmare Alley. Tell me what brought you to be an extra.
Well, I've done a lot of other projects, and one thing that brought me to this project was you have an Oscar-winning director, Del Toro, and also you have A-list movie stars in it, Bradley Cooper. So, it's impressive that, movie A-listers and Academy Award winners come to Buffalo.
Oh, that's great. Tell me a little bit about your experience, what you did, your role, and what you did every day.
I worked on it one day. My experience was great. It was downtown Buffalo, and it was by where I worked too, downtown. And it was real impressive because it took a whole team to put everything together. Everybody from wardrobe, you had to get 40's haircut and everything. You had to get 40's wardrobe, and so everybody put that on. You had to go through that whole process, and it just took a lot just to be on set. Everybody working together, and everybody.
Tell me about the role that you played and what exactly what you had to do in that role.
The role I played was as a background police officer. Me and my partner, we were in a police car. We were passengers in a police car, and there were stunt drivers that drove the cars and everything, and we were just in the car as passengers. And we went flying around the corner, and it was impressive seeing all these older cars in the 40s. They had a couple of them, with the stick shifts and everything, and like I said, it was a lot of fun.
What was the best part for you of the whole experience? Once you're done and you process and you think, oh my gosh, this is what I did, but what was best about it?
Oh, and then another part I did was I walked the beat in Niagara Square, walked around, and it was real impressive when I was walking the beat, watching a convoy of 40's cars come in, one after another. They kept on going in a circle. I've been downtown a lot. I've been in Niagara Square a lot. I don't think you'll ever see something like that with all those cars in the convoy like that, all these 40's cars.
Well, hopefully now you know why people want to be extras in films. It's fun, you get fed, you get to wear neat clothes, but it's also a great and thriving industry here in the city of Buffalo. We hope you've enjoyed tonight's episode of Behind the Camera. See you next time.